Hey guys, WeQuilt Studio again, and I wanted to show you an even easier way to create these two phrases around this circle. So what you could do is we could just first of all click this smaller satin. We don't have to make copies or anything. We can just click it here and we'll go to text, font engine text with selected object as baseline. So notice I'm selecting the whole circle. And you can see my cursor or my starting point is way down here. But that's okay because I'll show you a way that we can flip it around. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is if you start typing and it's on the wrong side of the circle, you can go up to font, other side. So you have all kind of options here. So click that, and now it flipped to this other side. And I'll just do Quilt Society. And now to move it around, you don't have to use your space bar to move this entire font. You can actually just click characters, click on this little red dot here, and it's the, beginning of the Q. So it moves all the characters after the Q. If I were to click here, it would move all the characters after the U, Control Z. But I'm going to click on the Q and I'm just going to move it around. And then once you get up here, you can go ahead and you can bring down a guide. Make sure that before you came into this tool that you clicked options, guides, unlock guides or lock guides. Just make sure your guides are unlocked so that we can move them around. So then just kind of pull it down where you think you want it and we'll move it again. Now what you want to do is you can move up all the letters. You can move them up. And so to do that, you use this little spider, and you have to be on characters, but you also have to have your transformation tab click to all letters. That means that when you're using the spider, all the letters will be affected. If you only want one letter to be affected, then if I click on this little green dot here, it'll just move the Q, Control Z. But if I click here and I do the same green slider, then they all move. Now they do move apart, but they'll all kind of move. And so you just kind of want to get it. And you can zoom in here using the plus sign. It might help you to get it better. So now it's, it's kind of in the spot I want. You also want to go to your scale. I think I already scaled this off camera, and I put it at 8% for this particular design. But I do want to go back to my spacing for my characters, and I think what I'll do is I'll move them closer together. So I'll just hold my right mouse button like I did before. And then when they get pretty close, most of them, I'm still in characters, so I'll just move them. Okay, so now I'll just click over here on the Q again, and I'll try to center it just by moving this dot here. And I'll take my guide and move it up. I'll go into vector view just to kind of see it better. And it looks like I'm good. I've got the Q there and the Y there. So now if I just want to move the Q, I'll go back to the transformation tab. And remember, I want to be in character mode for this. And I'll uncheck all letters. And I can just move the Q up while I'm in here using this green slider here. So I'll go ahead and I'll kind of move it there. And remember, I can still move it once I get into the main screen. So now that I moved the Q, I see a little gap there between the guide and the Q, whereas, at the Y, there's no gap. So I may want to move the entire phrase again. I'll just use this node that represents the Q. And because remember, when I move the Q, everything to the right of it moves. So I can just slide this around again while I'm in character mode here, and all the letters will move. Even though we have this unchecked, I can still slide it. So I'm just going to slide it down a hair, maybe just a little bit. And now the guide looks like it's right up against the Q and the Y. If I drag it up a hair now, I'm like right on both of them. Pretty close. I could probably get closer if I zoomed in. Let's see. I mean, it's like so tiny. Let's see. Sometimes I drag it farther just to kind of unlock it and then kind of slide it. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. So we'll go with that. So we'll just hit the check mark. And if it does create this connection to the previous object, just click on that object and look down in the parts window and left click on the connection and then right click delete. And then that connection is gone, but the Q is still there. And then if you see a yellow circle on a connection, that just means that that connection is not needed. So delete that. And then we'll select them all. Right click group. On group 1 is taken, so group 2. And there you go. You can use that one instead of the one we created, or you can just keep the one we created. I'll just left click and drag, insert before. I'll delete that one. So then this one will just left click and drag on the orange one, set identical color. Go into 3D. Let's generate that. And there you go. Control A, Control 1, Options Guides, Erase Guides. So in this case, you don't really need to make these outlines and expand them and so on. You can just use the satins that you originally had. So that makes it a lot quicker. But either way is good. If you wanted a separate outline, you can certainly do that method as well. All right, guys. Well, I hope this helped you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.